happy to be here. It's been a little while, quite a journey over the last few months. I was able to do 300 of these last year, and I've just been a little bit since I've gotten back into it. So excited to have you here. My name is Dina Beth, and I'm with the Queen Within. I'm excited to share with you today. I am not only the owner of the Queen Within International, but I also have been married to the love of my life for 30 years. I am also a certified Tony Robbins life coach and a relationship coach. So I absolutely love talking about relationships and life ways that I can support you in your life and bringing more joy. Today the topic is going to be, if you are ready for a life you love, it's time to jump in and choose out of the mediocre and choose into what would serve you better. Hey, Debbie, what a treat. So nice to see you. It's been a long time since I've been on live, so you'll have to help me work through my rustiness. But I'm so happy you're here. Welcome, welcome. I hope everything's going well for you today. So I am delighted to talk about the life that you love and the joy that it is to really not only support myself and those that I love in bringing out about more of the things that we love in our life, but how we can really show up in our own lives to bring out the things that we love more. And I have some really great insights for you on this today, and I'm excited to be able to share them. I also want to share just a little bit about the journey that I've been on, not only bringing out more of the love that I have for my life, but also the love that I get to really journey into and really claim and own so that I can continue in this life's journey. Super, super excited to have all of you here. And for those of you that are coming in on the replay, please type replay here in the chat. And I would love for all of us to really own that every one of us is a queen. Queen Within is the name of my company for a divine reason, and that is that every single one of us are a queen. Every one of us incredible women have a queen within that we often don't really know how to access because we're not really owning our gifts. We're not really owning the innate qualities that we were born with. But I think it's really an incredible exercise in self-love to own that we have divine qualities, that we have things about us that that we don't often access, but as we do, we really are able to show up in our lives so much more profoundly, so much more generously, so much more more of the, I don't know, intuitive love, generosity shows up, that it just allows us to be who we really are, the best part of ourselves. So I just invite anyone who's joining us to type in the words I am queen here in the chat, or perhaps just use a little queen emoji. Just gives us a reminder that we are these incredible beings that are here on a journey together, and to own the very best part of ourselves is what we're all about. So I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm excited to talk about this incredible topic, share a little bit of my journey, talk about the story that brings us all together and what I can do to make your life better, which is certainly my joy. So loving the life that we have and really owning that that is where all of our joy comes from. And just choosing out of the mediocre, the less than the best is what we're all about. And that's again what we're wanting to imagine here. And I would encourage us, hey, Tirza, so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. I imagine all of us can take a moment here and just imagine the life that we would love to have, and just take a moment to really own that so many of those pieces are already in place, and that we already have brought that into our space, even just imagining it. And remembering that there are people in our lives that could really love more of the life they already have, and to share this with them would be a great gift to them. So just take a moment and share out this video to anyone that you know is wanting to love the life they have more fully. So living life is really a choice. Sure, we all have our challenges, we all have our ups and downs. As you know, I have been walking my own journey with breast cancer and diabetes recently. I'm 48 in October, so I'm still 47, but I absolutely love that I've been called to go on a journey of healing and self-discovery, really owning some things about my history, really owning that loving life is really where it's at for me, for now, for my future, and for what's going to allow me to heal in the way that I would love to. I have absolutely chosen out of any, the traditional medicine, so to speak, and I'm choosing into more of the holistic medicine. Anything that's natural is my healer right now, including all of my food and my water and everything else I do. I'm absolutely owning that my joy in life comes from healing from within, and the Queen Within work is all about that. So I know that for all of us to feel loved, supported, and safe is absolutely essential for us to have the love that we want in our life, and to really own the love that we want to have, and the generosity that it takes to really love the life that we have, even with all its flaws and all the things that aren't perfect. I know that all of us would love to feel more served and inspired by the men in our life, and that's what I love talking about. I love seeing us get the support and the inspiration that we need from the men around us. And I believe there's a kind of like a formula, like a recipe, so to speak, a recipe for happily ever after in dealing with men. So I love talking about these subjects, and I have a couple morsels here that I want to talk to you about. I recently posted on my page here that men often appear very selfish to us as women. I don't know if you remember that, but hey, Jenna's here. Welcome, welcome. So happy you're here. So nice to see you. So I'd just like to invite you to think about men in your life and times when they've been really selfish. Like, you know, the time when I made this incredible meal. I didn't do candlelight, but I had everything set out, and it was like the sauce was perfect. Had the table all set. I, tidied up the home. Everything was in good order, and I was so excited to have my husband walk in the door, and he walks in and isn't hungry and doesn't want to eat. Hey, hello, Jenna. I'm so happy to have you here. Hello, warrior, right back. So happy you're here. So what we know is that men often tend to show up at the worst times and do the worst of the worst. Like, you've made this amazing meal, right? You've set out the table. You've got everything just so. The kids are, settled up, and you wanted to be able to just have some time with the man you love, and now he's not even hungry. So freaking selfish, yes? That would be not okay. And so many of us have faced these moments where you're finally going to have some time with the guy that you love, and he goes to sleep. Pretty soon he's snoring over there, and you're like, excuse me? This is our time together, and you're freaking not even present? How dare you? Have you ever experienced this? I would love to see you put an emoji in the chat here of what it's like for you when you are dealing with a man that is just plain not present. When you need him to be, when you're finally like set to receive and he's not able to deliver. So we've all been there one way or another, and if we have a man in our life, it's just more times part of the deal than I would like to admit. So I know we're there. Steph, welcome. So happy you're here. Hey, Fanula's here. So happy you're here. Welcome, welcome. Haven't seen you for a while. What a treat. Yes, Jen is like, I have totally dealt with this before, and so I totally know that every one of us on one level or another are getting that this is part of the journey of just really feeling into these moments when he is such a selfish freaking jerk, and hey, Finola, thank you so much. Hi, sister. So happy to see you. So yes, we just own that, he's such a selfish jerk, and yet have to say I still love him. I don't know if you've ever still loved the guy, but there's been times when I've just like, you're so freaking selfish, and I still love you. So learning to get the tools and the tricks to feel served and supported by the men in our life, I think is such a huge part of our journey that really not only takes care of us, but takes care of them, takes care of the overarching of our families, and makes life better and sweeter. And I think being supported and feeling loved by a man can really help us own who we are on a deeper level, and really get to a place in our own development where we feel like we're rising and shining, because these relationships really are where the rubber hits the road. It's where the greatest happiness for us lies. Much research behind that, where our health, our wealth, our passion, our purpose is so much more improved. Yes, we all have on one level against another. So real. And yet, so often it's difficult to achieve. Yes? I mean, it's like, oh, what am I going to get this guy to do to turn around? So I wanted to share my own journey, just a short story here about what I've been up to and up for. A couple months ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that's a big one for so many of us women, especially as we get a little older, some of us younger. And of course, it was a big emotional, moment. And of course, to find out right behind that I had diabetes, which is like, you got to be kidding me, because my mother has diabetes. And I'm just sobbing, and oh, it's so horrible, because she doesn't take care of herself. She just recently had a piece of her colon removed. So I'm just an emotional wreck, right? Well, what I had to own is that it's my job to own my life and choose what is next for me and decide how I'm going to love the life that I have and make every single day. Oh, bless your heart, Jenna. That is such a big deal. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's a big one, especially when we consider, that we may be losing our breasts, we may be having, parts of our anatomy cut out and cut up and cut apart, and just having to go through some of the radioactive treatments and such. And we all know that, on one level or another, we're all facing some of these things. I personally have gone through a lot of it 27 years ago with thyroid cancer. I don't know if you can see the scar, but I had thyroid cancer when my son was about 3 months old, and he's now 27. So on September 6th, actually, so just exactly 27 years ago almost, and I went through all the treatment for that and have chosen out. So this time when they said, oh, just a few inches down from that, you're now good looking at this huge cyst, you have another one under your left arm, another one on your right under, I just, after they told me all of the options for treatment, there was not one cell in my being that said yes to that. To this very hour, it's been weeks, and I just still feel very, very strongly that my journey has everything to do with natural wellness, natural healing. Been so hard to make decisions on this. Yes, so freaking much turmoil. So I'm totally hearing you, Jenna. But I know for me, and every person has their own journey, and I'm not, in any way saying this is for everyone, but I know my journey is healing through natural. I just know it. And so the first thing I did was reach out and just say to my sisters, my friends, my family, this is what I'm choosing. I'm doing this naturally, and what I know is it's going to give me the quality of life that I decide and have determined that I get to have, regardless of what is coming. I just know that I get to have quality of life while I'm here, and I just believe 90% of people that take chemo go home soon, and I'm not ready to go home anytime soon. I have a 4-year-old. I have a 10-year-old. I have a 15-year-old at home. I have a lot of good life to live ahead of me, and I'm here for the quality. So with that just all being in the mix, I chose to go to Mexico because I found myself being incredibly flexible in my comings and goings, and dealing with things like language barriers and things like not having everything just so, and dealing with the fact that I was 2,000 miles away from home, and just loving diversity, loving the adventure, loving the whole idea of how can I make this work. And I think so much of life is about that. So for any of you that are looking to have a partner that is more affectionate with you, who wants someone who is more thoughtful, more considerate, willing to show up and adore and love you on a deeper level, if you are wanting to have a partner that is opening up to you more often, I know it's just an opportunity, but I would love, love, love to have you inbox me, or perhaps even have someone that in your life that is looking for this to inbox them as well, because I know we're all looking for ways to have more support, ways to have more generosity from the men in our life. And if you're looking for that, or you know someone who'd be looking for that, send this video to their inbox. And I know most of us don't want to deal with this publicly, right? So just like take a little snap of the like the address bar, just pop it in their inbox. It'll give them a chance to view this on their own. Truly a privilege to serve and see you thriving in these areas and having the tools that you need. There are so many tools that can really lift you into this space where you can have the joy, the freedom, the purpose, and the love of the life that you crave, the love of your life that you've always wanted. And just know that I'm here to serve you in that way. So so many tools I'd love to share. So excited to have you join our free group. The group that I currently have is Happy Homes and Hearts. That's currently Happy Homes and Hearts. I'm changing it to Happy and Healthy Homes and Hearts, because I'm really all about that. And since I've had all these recent development in health-wise, I'm all about like sharing those recipes for what would bring us happily ever after. Recipes would help us and support us in living our life more. So super happy to have you. The Recipe for Happily Ever After is my group that is has some greater trainings at least to come. Been kind of quiet for some time, working on a lot of health issues, but I'm super excited to be back on the scene, sharing the journey, sharing the recipes that are working, the recipes that are bringing joy, recipes that are bringing more love, and more love for life, because that's really where it's at. So for those of you that have been here with me for the last little bit, such a joy to serve you and be here for you and be a friend. For those of you that are struggling with cancer, with diabetes, with other health concerns, if you're struggling with relationships, my joy is to be here every Wednesday, every Saturday about this time. So I will be doing lives each Wednesday, each Saturday. If you wanted to have me, be tagged on those videos so you can have an opportunity to hear some of the recipes that I have coming up for you, I'm more than happy to have you choose into that. Molly's with us. Welcome, Molly. So happy you're here. So thank you, Queens, for your journey with me, for being part of the incredible opportunity we have to grow together, to learn together, and get stronger and better together. And I hope you have the wonderful rest of your day. This will be posted on YouTube. It'll also be posted on business page as well as other places. So again, share it out. Let me know how I can serve you best. Do inbox this to anyone that you think would be well served by it, because I know there's somebody out there who's lonely, feeling unheard, unseen, and unappreciated, that would really appreciate being able to hear from this opportunity. So hope you're staying encouraged and feeling on top, and if there's something I can do to make it better for you or to serve you in some way, feel free to let me know. Have a beautiful one. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.